thank you for joining us today for the orientation for this RV. This RV handles really well. It's really comfortable to drive. Just remember, you're pretty wide, so you need to make wide turns, and it's okay to go into the second lane when you turn, especially in the gas station. Make wide turns, watch for poles and columns in and out. The back end does swing a little bit. You're about 13 feet high on your clearance. All major roads and highways, you should be fine. Another concern is pulling into an RV park. Sometimes they have signs or some low-hanging trees, or even in your own neighborhood. Just be cautious of your surroundings and what you have going on there. This is not an off-road vehicle. You need to stay on maintained or paved roads at all time. Slow down when you're getting ready to go over some bumps. We don't want anything to catch the undercarriage or do any damage underneath that would cause significant repair. Just be aware of those things and where you're driving. Also, where the cutout is on the side entry door, I'll point it out once we get to the other side. It does go down for the steps. Just be very careful. It's easy to catch that on the curb if you're parallel parking or even going over a bump. So let's get to some more of the RV. As we start down here, we're going to walk down the side. We do have a onboard generator. It does have a remote switch to start it on the inside. And then this is the propane bay. The refrigerator and the gas options run off of propane. We have a dual gas and electric hot water heater. The switch is on the inside, and you only want to use the electric or the gas. Primarily, you use the electric when you're plugged in at the RV service at the RV park. This is the exhaust for the furnace as well as for the hot water heater. Both of them can become hot. Don't lean anything up against it or touch it. It will burn you. Just be aware of that as well. Right here, this little white square is where you'd plug in your power cord. So you're going to attach the power cord here, and the other end is going to go into the park service at the RV electrical pedestal, and that's going to provide the pressure for you on the inside. Make sure that you turn on the breaker on the RV pedestal. A lot of times when they're not in service or being used, the breakers are turned off. So you might get to the RV park and you're like, hey Casey, I'm plugged in, nothing's working on the inside of the RV. I'm going to say, hey, go back out to the RV pedestal and check and make sure the breaker switches are turned on. So make sure those are turned on. Moving along, we do have the fuel fill that is on the driver's side. So when you're pulling into the gas station, just make sure you are on the driver's side when you're filling up fuel. It is a 50-gallon tank. This tank runs the vehicle as well as the generator. Same tank. As a side note, it has a safety feature. When you get down to about a quarter of a tank, it should automatically shut off. It's to prevent you from getting stranded out in the woods so that you can make it back to get more fuel. We have the dumping station right here. We open this up. You're gonna grab the sewer hose, which is in the other compartment. There's two valves. We have a black valve and a gray valve. The black is the bigger one. That's gonna be your sewage, and the gray is going to be the sink and shower water. You're going to twist on the pipe and put the elbow into the sewer hole into the ground. You're gonna open up the black valve first, and it's just gravity fed, and it will dump the sewage, and then you'll close that up, and then you'll open up the gray one. This RV is a little bit different. On the other side is the actual toilet. So it has a long pipe that runs the width of the RV. It has two black valves right below the toilet. On the other side, pretty much on the same part. If you can see, I don't know in the video, but there's a long pipe that runs the width. So you'll want to open up this valve on the drain side first, and then you're going to go pull that valve so it's all gravity fed. That way that pipe doesn't get impacted or cause any clog, and then you'll close them all back up, and then you'll be ready to rock. Okay. Another very important tidbit, this is a sanitation flush. So the one with the brass fitting, if you hook up the water hose to this inlet, it is going to fill the black tank from the inside. If you decide to flush the black tank, make sure that both black valves are in the open position so it flushes all of that out. This just causes rain inside of the tank to get any other debris or any other items to get it to flow out. We have the city inlet connection here, as well as the fresh water tank. So the fresh water tank, you just remove the cap. It's a 40-gallon fresh water tank. You just put the garden hose, or if you have water at the RV park or at the gas station, just put the hose in there. There are guides on the inside. The levels of the guides on the inside are just estimates. Sometimes it gives you a false positive, especially with the black tank. There could be some moisture or a piece of toilet paper got stuck on one of the sensors. Just a guide. So if you know that you dumped the tank, you'll know that it's empty, even though it might be showing that there's some moisture on the inside. So we always suggest running off of the fresh water tank and the water pump. The plumbing inside the RV isn't necessarily like the plumbing in our house. It's got plastic fittings and little clips that hold it all together. And it only works really well with a certain amount of pressure provided from the water pump. At times when you're plugged in to the city water connect at the RV park, there could be a pressure surge that could blow one of those lines. With that said, anytime you leave the RV, if you are hooked up to the water hose at the city connection, turn it off. Make sure you turn the water pump off also when you leave the RV. Like I said, sometimes that can be finicky. We don't want any leaks or any issues while you're away that you can't monitor that condition. Additionally, only an RV water hookup or the water pump on at a time, only one, not both. It'll create too much water pressure on the inside. Let's see if I missed anything else here. I think we're moving along. This has a large pass-through. You can get plenty of storage in here. It's really nice. In the center ring, there's a spare tire. You can see the electrical cord here, but your sewer hose and electrical cord, they'll be inside the compartment here. But you can store plenty of gear for your trip. As we make our way around to the back, there is also an access panel here. I'm not going to open it up. It's the same as what you saw through the side. There is a ladder for roof access. It is for maintenance only. Please stay off the roof. We don't want you on the roof at all. Just please respect that. We appreciate it. And we got another full pass through here. As we work our way down the side, we have a couple of exterior outlets. You're more than welcome to use that. You do need to be plugged in at the RV park with park power or the generator on. So when you are going to need power for the AC, the microwave, and any of the outlets on the inside of the RV. With that said, you have to have power for all of those major appliances. If not, they will not work and or run. As a side note, as I said, here is the secondary black valve right below the toilet. So you're going to want to pull the valve on the other side and then the one on this side second to get that flow going. It does have an electric awning. It is very easy to use. It is just a shade structure. Wind, rain, snow, any other inclement weather, put it up. Nighttime you're sleeping, put it up. If you go for a hike or go to hang out at the river or on the lake, put it up. It is very, it doesn't like wind, let's put it that way. It is $2,000 to replace, and usually insurance will say that's an operator error. You are 100% responsible for the awning if there's any damage done to it. It is a complete set and kit, and like I said, it's $2,000. We want you to have a good, fun, safe trip. Just please be responsible. This is the back of the refrigerator for maintenance, and then you got another little storage compartment right here up front. As I mentioned on the other side, here's this little cutout. It is deceiving because it's hard to see it when you're driving. If you get too close to a curb, you will curb it and it will cause some damage. I think we're ready to go on inside. All right, as you first come in, we have a bank of switches. One is for the awning. There's a light underneath the awning. There's a couple of step switches. And this one says cargo light. So all of the exterior compartments have a light inside of them. This is the master switch to turn all of those lights on or off. So if it's in the on position, as you saw that it turned red, They may be on or off inside the compartment, but this is the master switch to turn them on and turn them off. So if you forget, you can always just turn them all off manually as a whole. This is a battery disconnect switch. As you can see, it's at the 3 o'clock position. Please maintain it in the 3 o'clock position. It only goes in the off position when it's in storage mode to help preserve the batteries. And then this is just a solar panel controller. There shouldn't be any need to do anything with that. As we step up inside, we're going to talk about the refrigerator real quick. It is dual gas and electric. These handles are a little bit finicky, so make sure that you articulate it out and then pull, nice and easy. Your controls for the refrigerator are right here on top. There's an on-off switch, and then you have the option for auto, which would be gas and electric, or you have a gas switch. So if you're plugged in at the RV park, you're going to be running off of the auto. If you're boondocking, you'd just be running off of the gas. The refrigerator does recognize when it does have the full power from the RV park when you're plugged in. Let's take a look in the fridge real quick. There's one little note that I want to talk about. We have a temperature slider. As you can see, it's all the way up. At times, sometimes it'll work its way off, or that little cord will fall out of that sleeve. So if the fridge is not getting cold, you might want to check that. The refrigerator freezer works in tandem. The freezer box freezes, and then the cold air flows down to the bottom of the fridge. Least coldest on the bottom of the fridge. It takes approximately 6 hours to freeze the freezer box and provide cold air to the bottom. So plan accordingly. 6 hours for the fridge freezer to get working properly. As we turn around here, we have our control panel. First things first, to remotely start the generator, you're going to actually push down towards stop. You'll see the red light illuminate. I'm not going to start it because of the noise with the video. And then you'll press and hold start. It usually takes 3 to 5 seconds to fire up the generator. Once the generator is running, go ahead and disengage the switch. It takes about 45 seconds to deliver power to the inside of the RV from the generator. We have, these are all illuminated lights. So we have a propane, so it's showing full battery, fresh water, black and gray tanks and their tank levels. We have the water pump. So at any time you want water out of the fresh water tank, you're going to turn the water pump on. And then we recommend turning it on and off based off of use. We have a dual hot water heater. So you have a gas option or an electric option. So if you're plugged in at the RV park, you can use the electric. And then if you're boondocking or you don't have electric, you go ahead and run off of the gas. Pretty straightforward. We'll go over any of those questions at the time of your pickup. We come across the dinette. It can convert into a bed. There is a little lever here. You just flip it over. With 2 hands, because of the spring mechanism in the back, you're going to push the table all the way down. It's going to rest along this rail. And then you're going to take the seat cushions from the back and put those over the dinette, and that's going to provide your bed. Since we're right here, we do have an electrical panel. That's where our fuses and breakers are located. So if there is a power surge at the RV park, that's where I'm going to have you look first. We do have a cab over bed. It does have a ladder that is located inside the bedroom cabinet compartment. So please use the ladder up and down, not the seat backs of the dinette or the couch or the captain's chairs up front. They are not made to support any weight. Please use the ladder up and down. If you look real quick, there is a little piece of fabric. This is what we call a privacy screen. One edge has Velcro, and the reverse Velcro are these little black tabs. There's one right here, there's one above the door, and there's a few behind the visors that makes a big U around the front windshield. It's too heavy to go straight across, plus it would block the ladder, so it makes that big U around there. We do have a TV, and it does have a swivel that you can swivel on out. We're going to be moving along. The sink should be pretty straightforward here in the kitchen. I do want to point out we do have 3 switches. One's going to be for this under counter light. There's one underneath the cabinets, and also one is for the overhead fan right here. Okay. Microwave should be pretty straightforward. The stovetop oven, this is just a glass cover. Lift the cover up. It provides the backsplash for when you're cooking. It is glass. Do not cook on it. Please raise it up all the way, not even partial to use the front burner. It will break and shatter. And then we've got an oven underneath here. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Just a reminder, the AC, microwave, and any of the outlets, you need a power source, which would be power at the RV park or running off of the generator. We have the shower here. As we work our way back, just be careful, there is a step up. This does have a recycle feature, so you can turn this knob and it will recycle the water back into the fresh water tank as your hot water heater gets the water hot. And then it also has an on-off switch here on the shower head so that when you soap up, you don't lose your temperature. Just make sure that you are very gentle and careful when you're closing the shower curtain, and it does latch in here on the other side. If you want to step into the bedroom, we have the thermostat here on the left wall. That's going to be for your AC. It's all going to be all the way to the left, and it does have a heater feature and then a slider for the temperature that you actually want. Then here we are in the bathroom. We have the toilet. It does have a step pedal to flush, and then along the wall back there is going to be a GFCI outlet that controls all of the outlets on the inside of the motorhome. Additionally, I don't know if you can get me right here, all of the blinds throughout the coach, they are all push and pull. So don't yank on them. They should just come down nice and easy. They're all tension fit through that string mechanism. I think we covered most everything. We look forward to seeing you soon, and we'll answer any questions once you pick up. Thank you.